Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Tukid Official, finally back again with another video. Welcome back to the Megacy Sports channel, guys. If you're tuning into this channel for the very first time, consider subscribing. Help me reach to 1,000 subscribers. You know, it is what it is, guys. 1,000 subscribers is our new milestone. We set the standards up high. Even though I have 500 subscribers, we can do this. Subscribe to the best sports channel in the universe. We've got to set the standards up high, like I said, guys. Turn on the post notifications as well. If you're going to enjoy this video, give it a like to boost up the algorithm for this channel. And without talking too much, today I'm going to be taking a look at the greatest country to never win the World Cup, the Netherlands. Not so sure if this was actually the greatest team not to win the World Cup. There's been plenty of great teams over the years. That's according to my perspective. There's been plenty of great teams down the years. England, the golden generation, with the likes of Lampard, Gerrard, Rooney, David Beckham, Rob Green. They had Joe Hart as well back in the days. They had a wonderful squad, but they couldn't perform on the biggest stages, whether it's the Euros, whether it's the World Cup, whether it's they didn't have the Nations League back in the days. It's a new tournament, but England were underwhelming in the biggest stage of football. They never used to perform really well, even though they had a lot of good players. Fabio Capello used to be a manager back then, and Steve McLaren used to be a manager for England as well, but they never used to perform really well. They were underwhelming. Another good team that has never won the World Cup down the years, then they had a fantastic squad, is Belgium as well. Belgium were, the likes of Eden Hazard in his prime back in 2018. Eden Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku, who else? Torgan Hazard, who else? Thibaut Courtois, Jan Vertonghen, Toby Alderweireld, Thomas Meunier. They had a good squad, man. They had a good squad. That's also one of a good team that has never won a World Cup, man. They had a golden generation, but I don't think they're gonna be able to make it to the quarterfinals this year, though. I'm talking about Belgium. And another team that has never won the World Cup is Brazil, with Neymar, Marcelo. Who else? Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, Ederson, Alisson Becker. I expected them to perform really well in the 2018 World Cup, but they didn't. They got eliminated by Belgium in the quarterfinals. They didn't make it through. You can see there's been a lot of good teams, but I wanted to take a look at this video because it intrigued me a lot, and I wanted to take a look at what is going on here. But this year, man, I've got an early prediction for who is going to win the World Cup, or who is going to progress the farthest. I think Brazil are intact to reach far beyond this tournament in the 2022 World Cup. And I'm telling you, Brazil is a team to fear this year. Brazil is just so good. They won 2-0 against Serbia yesterday, courtesy of goals from Richarlison. What a player he is, though. What a baller. But let's take a look at today's video, man. Without further ado, let's get this video started. Here we go.
Throughout the history of the World Cup, football's most anticipated tournament, and the most watched sporting event in the world.
The most watched sporting event in the world, for real.
So historically good at the game and so close.
If you don't watch football, then you're a bum, you're a mug.
At the same time, failed so many times to have ever won it, like the Netherlands. Seriously, there has never been a World Cup squad to make it to 3 World Cup finals and never win.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's
a fact. That's unfortunate. 3 World Cup finals and you've won 0. That's a fact.
As respected as it once was.
That's unfortunate.
You know that the Netherlands are tied for the all-time record in producing the most Ballon d'Or winners of all time.
Cruyff.
So just how is it possible that a nation this talented has never managed to win?
Robin van Persie, Nigel de Jong.
2022 World Cup. Let's take a look.
Let's go. Let's get this video started, man. I'm excited.
Although the Dutch have never quite managed to win, with Prime Gaming, you can take your FIFA 23 Ultimate Team to glory and win.
Yeah, you're promoting FIFA 23.
Prime Gaming, it's free with your Amazon Prime membership and offers amazing in-game items for all your favorite games every month. And I'm really excited about this month's offering because there's a new drop available for FIFA 23 Ultimate Team, and you never know who you're gonna get in their packs. It's really simple to claim the drop. Just head to the Prime Gaming site when you're signed into your Prime account and connect your account to redeem your code. Then we're all good to go. Now let's head over to Ultimate Team and see what we get from this pack. So of course, starting off, we get no other than the boy Jadon Sancho, which
Not a
that
fan
was
of
not
Sancho.
bad, but at least
I'm not a
you
fan
get
of Sancho.
15-match alone of no other than Erling Haaland.
Never liked him,
We also
never
get a
rated him
total
highly.
of 7 gold rare
Honestly.
players, as well as 2 picks of a minimum 81 overall rating, along with 12 plus rare consumables and your choice of 8 picks between 2 FIFA World Cup players. But what do you guys think? Not too bad, right?
Nah, not
And
too
you can
bad. I
always
would play
sell
it.
them if you'd like and get
I would
other
play it,
players.
100%.
So make sure to claim your FIFA 23 Prime Gaming drop and come back for more every month. So go and click the link in my description to sign up for Prime Gaming and claim all of Prime's amazing offers. Just like I did.
Go.
Thanks to Prime Gaming for sponsoring
If
this
you have
video.
Prime Gaming,
In the
go play this
1970s,
game.
Dutch football was arguably at the highest level it's ever been. They were consistently seen as one of, if not the top international squad in the world. And a huge reason for that was no
Johan
other than
Cruyff.
one of the greatest footballers of all time.
Johan
as well
Cruyff.
as the man who basically
He's
founded
talking about
the
Johan
way
Cruyff.
modern games played, the late great Johan
What
Cruyff.
a baller,
Cruyff
bro.
embodied the concept
He was such
of
a good
total
footballer,
football.
bro.
Total football is basically a system where players can take over the role of another within the pitch, allowing for a more dynamic style of play in an era where players strictly stuck to their positions, played their roles, and played in a very static way. This fluid way of playing was back then seen as revolutionary. How players move and switch around, allowing for more freedom in individual players.
But how
to
did
really
the
shine and
Netherlands
make a
fail
clear
to win
impact
the
on
World
pitch?
Cup
And despite
with
the
you-
many
you-
greats of
with
his
Cruyff
era,
in the
it was
squad?
almost consensus that there was no other
Failed to
player
understand.
in the world as good as Johan Cruyff. The 3-time Ballon d'Or winner was
3-time
immensely
Ballon d'Or
gifted.
winner.
He played
Wow,
primarily
that's
as a
crazy.
playmaker, but at the same time had the
3
ability
times.
to score all
Back in the
by
days, like,
himself with unrivaled
footballers weren't
skill.
that good,
His
oh.
touch was
They
divine.
were.
His ball control as good as any to ever play. His dribbling graceful and composed. And of course, his vision matched only by the greatest passers the game has ever seen. And although he didn't look like it, he was one of the fastest players in his era. Even now, it's hard to find a player who really shows similar traits to the all-time great. I would say
Bro,
he was
he
a
took
mix
out
of
someone's
Prime
career
Kaká
there.
with Iniesta and diversity of a Luka Modric all in
Yes,
one.
that's
In
so true, yeah.
1974, Cruyff would put the
So
Netherlands
real.
squad on his back and lead them to the World Cup, along with notable players like Johan Neeskens, one of the top midfielders of his era who back in 2004 was even named in the 125 greatest living footballers of all time by FIFA. Ranked the
crazy.
former 64th in 442's greatest 100 all-time players and was Barcelona's assistant coach during the Rijkaard era. Rob Rezenbrink, a winger/forward who was the all-time scorer for the UEFA Cup, Winners' Cup, the very first winner of
Kevin
the
Keegan.
Ballon d'Or, and a player who only missed 2 penalties in his entire career, who scored 143 goals in 262 appearances.
Whoa.
0.54 goals per
What
game
the
record
fuck,
in his
bro?
prime. Willem van Hanegem, a midfielder
He was that good.
who once beat out Cruyff for the Dutch Footballer of the Year award and one of the best pure passing accuracy and ball retaining midfielders of his era. And Ruud Krol, a defender who placed third in the 1979 Ballon
Wait,
d'Or.
wait.
and
How
a
did they
former
fail to
Serie
win
A Player of the
the
Year,
World
who
Cup
was
with this
well
type of
known for his
players?
ability to win the
A
ball
defender who
back,
came
as
in
well as
third
being one of the
in the
best
Ballon
passing
d'Or back in the
defenders
days. That
world.
wasn't
The
easy.
Netherlands had a pretty stacked team and were already one of the favorites to win. They would destroy Argentina 4-0 with Cruyff scoring a brace, embarrass Brazil 2-0 with Cruyff scoring the final goal, and comfortably win against East Germany 2-0 to make it all the way to the final. And when they got to the final against West Germany, right at the beginning of the match, Cruyff would make an amazing run all within the first minutes of the match, and eventually reached inside the box with ease
Whoa,
before he would
whoa,
get a
whoa,
hard
whoa.
tackle that led to a penalty, which their penalty expert Neeskens
Bro, that's a
easily
penalty.
scored to put Netherlands up 1-0 in just 2 minutes of
No
play.
doubt.
However, it would
He
kind
converted.
of knock the wind out of Cruyff and somewhat slow him down throughout the game. However, that West Germany team was just as scary as the Netherlands. They would mark Johan Cruyff heavily throughout the match to prevent him from opening up chances for his squad. And West Germany had legends of their own like Paul Breitner, Franz Beckenbauer, and Gerard Muller.
Gerard Muller.
Beckenbauer, in
Hey!
particular, was able to control
Gerard
the game and
Muller.
help
Whoa,
West
whoa,
Germany
whoa, whoa.
dominate
He's
the match.
the
Paul Breitner,
he was the earlier version of Robert
German
Lewandowski
footballer
back
of
in the
year,
days.
would score a penalty on the 21st minute, while Gerard Muller, one of the most dominant goal scorers ever, secured a win with a 43rd minute goal.
I'm telling you, he
eventually
was
making
lethal.
a 2-1
Gerard Muller.
comeback to win the
He
match
was
and
lethal.
take the title. What could have elevated the already all-time great Johan Cruyff to GOAT status fell just a bit short, as he was named the player of the tournament and won his 3rd Ballon d'Or that year. But what he really wanted the most for himself and his nation was just within grasp. but never happened.
He wanted the World
However,
Cup,
the very
just
next
like
World
Messi.
Cup in
He wanted the
1978,
World
the
Cup.
Netherlands would once again make a huge push in the tournament and try to win the trophy they were so close to getting just 4 years ago. Although Cruyff had already retired from international duty after helping his country qualify for one more World Cup, the squad remained relatively the same from 4 years ago, with names like Neeskens, Rezenbrink, Rep,
But they were
Hahn,
getting
and
older.
Krol. And the Van
Same
der
squad,
Kerkhoff
but they were
brothers
getting
making
older.
the core of the squad. The Netherlands would destroy countries like Austria 5-1, as well as defeat
5-1.
one of the favorites, Italy 2-1. Then they would tie defending world champs West Germany 2-2. But back then, the World Cup system was more based on points rather
Oh,
than a
points.
knockout bracket.
Okay.
Eventually, they would move up to face the host Argentina in the final. However, without Johan Cruyff, the Netherlands,
Diego
as good as their
Maradona
defense and
was in the
midfield
team for
just
Argentina.
couldn't match Argentina's firepower.
Okay.
Mario Kempes, one of Argentina's most historic players and best goal scorers of all time, would open up the match 1-0 just before halftime as the Dutch struggled to equalize and control the match. However, in the 82nd minute, the Netherlands would finally get a goal and the match would be forced into extra time. Then, in the span of 10 minutes, Argentina would score 2 more, led by Mario Kempes, winning the match.
Diego Maradona wasn't
3-1,
part of the squad, I think.
absolutely crushing
Yeah,
the
he
hearts
wasn't.
of all Holland supporters as they lost their second consecutive World Cup
Two
final.
consecutive
Mario
World Cup
Kempes would go
finals.
on to
That's
win the
just
World
so
Cup
sad.
Golden Boot and
That's
Golden
just so
Ball,
unlucky,
along
man.
with the Onze d'Or and South American Footballer of the Year award, being remembered by the older generation as one of Argentina's all-time heroes, while the Netherlands would take many, many years to make a squad as strong as the ones in 1974 and 1978 and make a push to the World Cup final once more. It wouldn't be until the late 80s that the Netherlands would produce a squad talented enough to stand on top of the world. This was the era of the greatest Dutch trio and
Ruud
even
Gullit.
one of the greatest footballing trios of all time. Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, and Frank Rijkaard.
Ruud
At
Gullit.
one point, all three finished on top of Ballon d'Or voting, with Rijkaard being an incredibly diverse and talented defensive mid, Ruud Gullit being an incredible playmaker, and Marco van Basten being the cherry on top as a lethal striker. These three, along with notable names like Ronald Koeman,
Oh yeah,
Van
Ronald
Kieft,
Koeman.
and Gerald Vavenberg, would be crowned as champions in the 1988 Euros. The squad was young and full of talent.
Squad
led
was young and
mostly by
fresh.
their iconic Dutch trio, who the people believed could finally win their country the coveted World Cup. But although they were dominant in the Euros, much to everyone's surprise, in the World Cup, they never went far. In the 1990 World Cup, in their group, they only finished third, falling behind England in the Republic
third.
of Ireland. Eventually
No,
being
no,
knocked
no,
out
no,
by
no.
West Germany in the round of 16. A major disappointment for such a talented squad. However, in 1998, although not nearly as good as the Dutch trio-led squad a decade prior, Netherlands squad had great form and chemistry, led by players like Dennis Bergkamp, Edgar
Dennis
Davids,
Bergkamp.
Mark Overmars,
Arsenal
Frank
legend.
De Boer, and Patrick Kluivert.
De Boer
The
as
Netherlands
well.
would finish at the top of their table without a loss. And
Patrick
go on to beat
Kluivert.
Yugoslavia in the
Legends
round of
after
16
legends.
and Argentina in the quarterfinals. However, they would come across the heavy favorites to win.
Brazil.
Ronaldo-led Brazil.
What the hell?
Was
You're never gonna
likely
win
match
against
of
Brazil in the
tournament,
final,
as
bro.
Ronaldo scored right before halftime, and Kluivert equalized for the Netherlands.
Bro,
right
that was
before
Brazil
the
in their
94th whistle.
peak.
But they would narrowly lose 4-2 on penalties.
Ronaldo,
making it
Rivaldo,
the closest they
Emerson,
got to reaching the
Dunga.
final in 20 years. But it wouldn't
You
be
think you
until
couldn't win
over
against them?
another
Nah, nah, nah,
decade
nah, nah,
until
nah,
they
nah,
would
no
produce
way.
a squad with enough quality to finally get a chance
Now, this was a
to
squad.
get back to the final. This brings us to the 2010
World Cup final,
With
yeah.
all the previous great Dutch squads, although not as top-heavy, this was
Yeah, it wasn't
arguably
top.
the
It
most
wasn't that
solid
top.
squad the Netherlands have ever put together. Their attack was led by Robin
By
van Persie,
Robin,
Wesley Sneijder, and Arjen
The
Robben.
goalkeeper was
Their
Max
defense was led
Stekelenburg.
by Giovanni van Bronckhorst with very informed players like John Hatienga and Gregory van der Wiel. Nigel de Jong, Rafael van der Vaart, and Mark van Bommel were also relentless
Bommel.
midfielders as well.
I remember
And
playing-
lastly, their goalkeeper,
playing for Netherlands in
Max
PES
Stekelenburg,
2010.
was probably the best performing
I'll never
keeper in
forget
the
that.
tournament
Max
after Iker
Stekelenburg.
Casillas.
He
They
was
would
a really
dominate
good
their group
goalkeeper.
without a single draw or loss, going on to beat Slovakia in the round of 16, absolutely crushed the hearts of Brazil.
beat
in
Bra-
an
they
upset
beat Brazil.
2-1 win in the quarterfinals, a match that I watched and I couldn't believe as I watched Kaká try so hard to score and win, but was ultimately
Max
stopped by
Stekelenburg.
Stekelenburg's unbelievable save.
Man,
But
this
throughout the
keeper used to
knockout
be so
stages,
good,
it was
bro.
No doubt, Wesley Sneijder, who was leading
Wesley
the team
Sneijder,
to
bro.
victory.
I feel
In
so
the
sorry for
semifinal,
Wesley
they would battle
Sneijder.
it out against
He has never won a
Uruguay's
Ballon d'Or in
Luis
his career. He
Suarez,
deserved one.
ultimately winning
He got
3-2.
robbed.
Then in the final, they would face the mighty Spain. In
Another
one of
good
the
side.
Most hard-fought World
Another
Cup
good
finals
team.
ever. A match where there was a record 14 yellow cards issued by the refs.
But Nigel de Jong deserved the red card.
Red cards, but considering
Nigel de
how
Jong
big the
deserved
match
the red.
was, they let some pretty questionable fouls
Kung Fu kicking
remain
Xabi
yellow.
Alonso.
And Arjen Robben was as close as any other Dutch player before him to winning the World Cup. But Iker Casillas had a miracle save just by the very end of his boots, which kept Spain alive long enough to score the game-winning goal in
Iniesta,
additional
in
time,
extra time.
making it the third World Cup final so far for the Dutch. Now in the 2022 World Cup, after
Nah, they
missing
don't
the
have any
previous
chance of
World
winning the
Cup in
2022
Russia,
World
the
Cup.
Netherlands have assembled a squad that is very defensive and midfield
Virgil
heavy,
van Dijk.
but overall pretty balanced.
Matthias
If
de
you ask
Ligt.
me. They'll have players like Virgil
Stefan
van
de
Dijk,
Vrij.
Matthias de Ligt, Nathan
Frankie
Ake,
de Jong.
Frankie de Jong, Xavi Simmons,
Kobe
Denzel
Meunier,
Dumfries, and Memphis
Denzel
Depay.
Dumfries.
Now, I'm not exactly saying I
Daniel
support this Dutch
Blind.
squad, but I think they're pretty decent.
Berghuis.
Who knows? They might have a
Memphis
30%
Depay.
chance based on sports gambling
Cody
odds,
Gakpo.
but I think that they might be a team that could
They have no
surprise
chance
everyone.
of winning it this year, I'm telling you. If you tell me that Netherlands have a chance of winning, maybe being the dark horses of this tournament, but not winning it. Have you seen how good Brazil is? How good France is? Yeah, anyways, you know, it's good to learn new things in football, man. I never had any thought or any idea that Netherlands reached like 3-4 World Cup finals without winning any. You know, this is a very educational video, man. Very, very educational video. And yeah, I enjoyed it, and I realized something new in my life, you know, concerning football. But I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, give it a like to boost up the algorithm. And before I conclude this video, in a few years' time, people are going to talk about Messi and Argentina not winning the World Cup. But now I'm still expecting Argentina to improve against Mexico and win the game on Sunday. But it's gonna be heartbreaking for Messi not to win the World Cup, man. I know this video is based on Netherlands, but I have to talk about my GOAT as well, Lionel Messi. But I don't want to say much, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next coming video. Take care and peace out.